Game week 25 is complete, and we scored a monster 171 points, which is actually the 458th best score for the week. That saw us with a nice little green arrow from just outside the top 50 overall to now sitting at the highest I've been all season with a season rank of 39. Boy oh boy, are we getting close to the top. And Cole Palmer is back. Check your weather, check the temperature. It's a bit cold outside because Cole Palmer is back. But without further ado, let's get stuck into today's video. So, welcome back to another video on the Hooked On SuperCoach channel. Today's video is a EPL SuperCoach video, obviously, and we'll be discussing Game Week 25, what went well, and looking into Game Week 26, which is currently live right now. We got a midweek game week, so we can get stuck into that shortly. Remember, guys, if you're here, don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell. It's free, costs you nothing. Also, like and comment your thoughts, opinions, trade ideas down below. So, let's get stuck into Game Week 25 and sort of how we went well. So, we actually aren't going to be able to see it on this screen, the Game Week 25 score, because Game Week 26 is already live, but for the sake of consistency, we will discuss Game Week 25 first, and then we'll get stuck into Game Week 26 just after that. So, Game Week 25 was a pretty good score here. So, we scored, obviously, 171 points, and I was very, very happy with that. So, I did end up using a trade. Obviously, I had Dorgoof there for a couple of weeks, and I decided to attack the double game week this week, Game Week 26, with Arsenal's double, and I brought in Calafiori. A couple of things I liked about him. He's obviously got the double. Arsenal's the best defence in the league. He's still one of the highest averaging defenders, and he's a super pod at the moment. He's not very highly owned up in the top echelons of players at all. So I thought, I'm going to take the punt, back Arsenal in with the double game week. Obviously, trades are running super thin at the moment, but I thought it was a trade worthwhile, and he rewarded us sort of straight away with an 11 points clean sheet and only played about 70 minutes, so I'm hoping he starts in both the double game weeks in Game Week 26. So yeah, 11 points for him. I was happy there. I also played Munoz, so two of my pods sort of in defence, and they worked out well last week. It's 10 points, but I'm hoping for better this week for both of them there. But yeah, super pods in defence. Happy with that. 10 and 11 points there. So they kind of kick-started the green arrow in a good way there. Bruno Fernandes, vice-captain. So I obviously looped Bruno's 21-point haul. And I can't believe it. So obviously I had the captaincy on Palmer from last video. In FPL you can't change your captain, so I had Cole Palmer locked in FPL and he scored 20 points, so 40 points in FPL. I saw a massive green there, but in SuperCoach you can loop, and so after getting Bruno's 21 points I thought it would be dumb not to take the points, and so I ended up taking Bruno's points, so I looped him with Whiteworth in net there. And look, it's only a 13-point swing really, but those 13 points at this season, at my point in the season with the ranks, that's probably putting me at inside the top 30, getting close to that top 25 there. So getting close, all these little things, these swings there, just not meant to be, but I can't really knock myself, and I would definitely do the decision again there of looping Bruno's score. But yeah, Cole Palmer, boy is he back. So yeah, 34 points as I mentioned there. Had him captain in FPL, was pretty keen on him in SuperCoach, him and Enzo, especially with the fixtures coming up. I just thought it's going to turn for him, and we're kind of seeing the fruits of the labour there. Back onto the Arsenal defenders. Raya, Gabriel, Timber kept a clean sheet. Happy days there. Raya actually had a couple saves for once, which was good, and he obviously came on as an auto sub with the looping of Whiteworth there. Moving on to midfield, we had Jared Bowen, 6-pointer, didn't return there, and Enzo Fernandez, 5-pointer, who also didn't return. However, we did see a return to form from Erling Haaland, and he scored a nice 19 points, which is his first return in a couple of weeks, which is good to see for him and just for the confidence. And so yeah, we obviously benched Saka, wasn't playing. Whiteworth was on, but he was looped, and then we benched Guehi and Semenyo, and it actually worked out for the best this week. I benched sort of the best players I could have in their position. So that's a little quick review of game week 25. So all in all, a super good week. I'm comparing myself to Huss, who's currently in first place. He's in the league, he's in the Discord. I chat to him regularly. He's a big... he's going so well. Hey, he is so far ahead of me. So yeah, as you can see, the gap between me and Oscar, I think, who's currently in the top 20, it's only like 50 odd points. However, the gap between Oscar and Haas is almost 200 points. So he has got quite the lead, Haas, and I'm hoping he brings it home. But he's obviously got a very strong team, and so I've got the same sort of strong players. We've lined up well, and yeah, those sort of pods with Calafiori and Munoz, I'm really hoping start to pay dividends over the coming weeks. But you guys are in for a special this week, as game week 25 is completed, and we've actually started game week 26. Let's have a sort of quick look at what's happened so far in game week 26. So, starting us off with Chelsea Leeds. And he's back. Cole Palmer again, 22 points, goal and assist. And you know what? He should have had another one. He missed an absolute sitter at the end of the game there, and he should have won the game for Chelsea as well. I think it was a .92 XG chance. Basically, if you haven't seen it, Caicedo crossed the ball in a cross goal. Palmer had an open net, and he just put his foot through it and missed the goal completely. So, could have been back-to-back 30-point hauls from there, but as an owner, look, very happy to have him there and play him. Same with Enzo. So, despite him, again, sort of not blanking or getting on the assisting or scoring sheet, he played really well, and he was just a very creative and attacking player. So, super happy with him, and I'll definitely be holding him moving forward. These were sort of the good fixtures for Chelsea, and for them to concede 2-2 is a bit surprising. I know a lot of people sort of brought in Cucurella off the back of his returns recently, so he scored 13 points last week and 19 the week before off the bench. He had a -8 break even. We'll get into the most brought in shortly, but he was highly traded in and got 3 points for you there. So I know you'd be disappointed with your Chelsea defenders. However, from the Chelsea midfielders and even attackers, João Pedro, he's doing better in FPL than SuperCoach, but he's still doing really well at the moment for Chelsea, and he's in some good form under the new manager there. So look, not someone I'm looking to move to, even with the fixture there. It's only really got one more good week left for Chelsea there. But yeah, he is doing well. Moving on to the Everton-Bournemouth game. Not too many sort of players relevant here. I do like Ndiaye on the penalties for Everton. He scored it, got 15 points. Before AFCON, he was doing really well. But yeah, I just don't know how keen I am on Everton assets. They lost this game after being 1-0 up. Bournemouth sort of had a flurry of goals in the 60th minute there. And yeah, Hill he's super cheap in FPL, but he's actually like 10 million in SuperCoach. He's one of the highest price defenders at the moment. He's just been killing it. 13, 10, 17. Had a -1 break even, and he scored 21 points. So he's getting in attacking spots. Look, this obviously won't keep up. And at 10, I just don't like him as an option. So I definitely wouldn't be looking to bring him in or anything. But just as a form player at the moment, yeah, he's really been killing it. Garner, 10 points. He was an option. Sort of, he's kind of died off a little bit. Obviously, 10 points in base is pretty good. And so he's got the base stat points there. However, I just don't know if I could get excited compared to your Brunos and whatnot. Tarkowski, 5 points. He's pretty highly owned. I've been a big advocate against him in SuperCoach. I have him in FPL, but just in SuperCoach, I just didn't see the value. Doesn't have that sort of creating attacking threat. He does have that set piece sort of chances, but yeah, look, he's been disappointing for a couple of weeks, and he's disappointed again with 5 points. So very happy not to own. There, Newcastle, my boys, go on your tunes. They won a game finally, and wow, Spurs are actually they're a high chance of being relegated, which is just bizarre. So Spurs are obviously such a massive club. I was there at their stadium actually a couple months ago when I was over in Europe. Their stadium is top class. Like, it's one of the best, nicest stadiums I've ever been to. they might be hosting championship football next year. I really don't know what's going on with Spurs. Obviously injuries and cards, but like the same thing happened with Ange. At least Ange won a trophy, and I really think the signing, the coach hasn't worked out at all. And I still can't believe they fired Ange, honestly, to begin with. So I'm kind of happy Spurs are doing bad, that they sacked Ange. And yeah, obviously happy for my Toons. But yeah, Spurs at home, they just cannot win. They're pretty much always better on the road this season. And yeah, Newcastle got the win there. Bruno Guimaraes finally didn't do anything this game. When I say didn't do anything, he still scored 7 points in base, so you'd be happy as an owner. And yeah, coming off a 22-point haul last week. So I'm kind of rushing through game week 25 and doing game week 26 live because we got the midweek game week there. But yeah, look, Bruno's just someone I think you could easily hold for the rest of the season. I love him as a pick. He's someone I'm interested in. I don't know if I'll move to him. I had him in FPL, and he just seems to be at the right place at the right time. I love him as a player, but just as a SuperCoach option, I don't love him as much, or just don't think his value at what he's currently priced at, which is the same price as Bruno Fernandes, $15.5 million. I think I'll take Bruno over. Both Brunos. I think I would take Bruno F over Bruno G for sure there. Moving on to the United game, and I'm sure if you're probably watching this video, you're across your EPL, you would have seen the United bloke, the United Strand. This was United's fourth win in a row, and they just needed to win this game for the bloke to cut his hair. So he hasn't cut his hair in about 450 days, so he's got a massive afro. It's actually good content there, but in typical United form, they were down 1-0 and only drew this game 1-1 with a late Sesko equaliser, which is actually a brilliant finish. But yeah, he's not going to get that haircut anytime soon, I think. That was a bit of a troll there. And so yeah, Jared Bowen, mate, he just keeps getting it done every week. He is someone now, especially with penalties, you can just hold for the rest of the season. He's a season-long hold. He's seen his price increase a little bit recently, due to a couple good sort of returns with a sort of 22-16. And he's got decent fixtures coming up. Bournemouth's alright. Liverpool isn't great. But yeah, Fulham, City, bit of a mixed bag. But as I said, with penalties and being sort of West Ham's go-to attacking player, I think he's a good option. And so he's just someone I'm going to be playing on matchups. And so obviously this week, even though he got the assist, I didn't play him. Obviously, I thought the fixture just wasn't there for United. I'm happy he got 9 points. Not too mad that I benched it. I played Bruno Fernandes, who uncharacteristically scored 5 points. Yeah, not the best game from United at all. I don't know if it was the pressure of winning 5 games in a row or what it was there, but yeah, just didn't work out for United at all. And so yeah, I just write that game off for Bruno. I wouldn't be worried as an owner at all. I think he'll be back to his best in no time on the weekend. But yes, this is kind of how we're lined up for game week 26. You can see we've got Raya, Gabriel, Calafiori, Timber, Rice and Saka's in at the moment, obviously pending news. But yeah, I've got lots of Arsenal coverage, and I'm really hoping Calafiori does something in this double game week, either a goal or an assist, double clean sheet within a goal. That would be huge. Like, just a massive swing to have like triple Arsenal defense plus Raya. Like, it is a lot, but I'm hoping with the double game week, I've taken a punt here. I'm obviously ranked 39th, so I'm not here to just like, oh yeah, want to finish with the top 100. I kind of want to finish as close as I can to the top 10. So I've gone attacking. I brought in Calafiori last week with the play that, yep, the players for him to go this week. They've got good fixtures, Brentford and Wolves both away, but it's Arsenal. They've got the best defence in the league, so I think even after this week and moving forward, I like Arsenal's fixtures. However, I've got to, like, the team's almost too good in defence. Like, so I obviously got those three. Add in Munoz, who I've just mentioned earlier in the vid, is a great pod with awesome fixtures, especially the next two. And as a defender with the attacking threat there, could easily return. I know earlier on in the season, he returned against both these exact teams, 24 points and 23 points. So, again, could be a massive, massive swing there. So, definitely want to play him. And it means I'm benching Guehi there against Fulham. So, another great fixture that I could play him in. I want to play him in. However, I already benched Bowen. I'm benching Semenyo as well. Like, the depth is almost too strong. So, using that trade last week, bringing in Calafiori does result in a few benching headaches. However, easily manageable there. So, yeah. I still got to decide on... So I'm recording this Wednesday night for context. So we've had those Wednesday morning fixtures. We've got the Thursday night fixtures and then Fridays to play. And then I'll record a video next week, probably Wednesday again next week, sort of discussing it all and going through that just with the fixtures coming few and fast in between with EPL SuperCoach. And then we'll also shout out to the NRL preseason trials, and on the weekend, get keen. I'll start looking to make some content. I'll see if Sol's available. Might try and get him on for some preseason content there, see what he's thinking, get his thoughts, because he's a great player and be good to get his insights there. But back to the EPL SuperCoach content. Obviously playing Declan Rice there, so bench Bowen, and playing Haaland as well. They've got, as I mentioned, they've got a great fixture with Fulham at home. I really do want to play Semenyo. So the annoying thing is Saka plays Friday and Semenyo plays Thursday morning. So I'm not going to know in time if Saka's... I think there's every chance Saka's on the bench for the first game against Brentford and starts for Wolves. And if that was the case, I'd love to have him, especially as a pod. So he'd get some minutes this week, and then also the full game, or some good minutes against Wolves, which is a great fixture. But I'm not going to get that news, and so Semenyo's still got a great fixture with Fulham at home. He's been playing pretty well, and so I would be playing Semenyo over Saka. I could play Guehi over Saka, but I'm an attacking fixture. I like to attack the fixtures, and so I'd go Semenyo there. So this is sort of how I'm lining up for this week and what I'm looking to do. Still not sure what to do with Saka. I'm sure he's going to be in the most traded out, which we'll get to next. But yeah, I feel like if I'm holding him, I've got to play him this week, because why am I holding him? Because my plan is already to move Saka to Thiago in game week 27 or in the future sometime before they're blank. Speaking of blank, so it also means in defence, game week 31, I'm going to have no defenders. So I'm going to sell Munoz in game week 31, and I think that's all, honestly. I think I'm going to ride Calafiori, Timber, Gabriel. Obviously, if injuries come up, that might change things, but I really think having those three in defence plus Raya and net, like four Arsenal defenders, if they keep a clean sheet, I am guaranteed a green arrow pretty much. And they have the best defence in the league, so I think I just back them in. So that's sort of my pod play for some strategy, sort of betting against the herd up the top here. A lot of them sort of have a Virgil van Dijk. I don't have Virgil. I have that third Arsenal defender and also Guehi and Munoz there. I know a lot have Tarkowski as well. If we actually can just quickly look at the most owned. So I've obviously got Guehi, Calafiori and Munoz that are pod. I think Guehi would definitely be the least of the pod. Yeah, he's 28%. He's pretty highly owned now. But yeah, a lot of them own Tarkowski, Cucurella and Virgil van Dijk, whereas I've got Guehi, Munoz and Calafiori. So 10, that's not even really pod numbers, but I just think up the top, top 1% isn't me anymore. I'm in the top 0.01% or whatever it is. So up the top here, no one has triple Arsenal defence plus Raya. And so yeah, I almost think I want to, that's why Saka was playing, just go all in on Arsenal, just completely back him in here, and if they do well, I'm going to reap the rewards. And if they don't, they're still a good team, and I don't know, I just think it's a good pod play. Again, not sure what I'm going to do with Saka and Semenyo. I think I will probably end up playing Semenyo over Saka, but we'll see next week if that decision was the right call or not. But yeah, Captain Gabriel, not moved off that. I have thought about captaining Calafiori, going full balls to the wall with backing him in, but it's just not worth the risk of backing against Gabriel when he's so highly captained, and I do think he's such a good option. So I'll just stay with the crowd on that one, Captain Gabriel. And so yeah, that's how I'm lining up for game week 26, which is currently live. We're doing alright. It's good that the Chelsea defenders blanked, same as Tarkowski. because they're pretty highly owned, and so I'm on for a good chance for a nice another green arrow. I think it's been a few green arrows in a row now to sit with a season rank of 31 overall, and yeah, so if we could crack, I don't know, the top 25, top 20, top 10, like by the end of the season, that would be great. Trades are the concern though, and I've only got 9 left, and so I've probably got to move I'm going to move Saka on, I'm going to move Munoz on. I think I've decided, for context, just for planning, I think I'm going to hold having Whiteworth, and just when Arsenal blank in 31, just pull out a 0 in defence with the keeper, because I just don't think it's worth the trade. I want to play Raya every week anyway, and so I have the automatic loop option. I know someone will probably get injured near the back end of the season when I've got no trades, and that will figure itself out, but just for the keeper's position, like, it's just not worth the trade. I'm going to play this keeper twice, however many times Arsenal blank, and then that's all it's worth. And that's what, say they keep a clean sheet and they get 20 points, 10 points each game, that's 20 point swing. So one trade for 20 points, it just isn't worth it. Whereas I could trade a Cole Palmer or an Enzo to to another, like a Bruno Guimaraes or someone. I want a bit more attacking to it, like a Harry Wilson. Harry Wilson is a great example. Like if I go Palmer to Harry Wilson or Enzo to Harry Wilson in game week 28, that one trade could turn out way more than 20 points. That could be a 20 point swing that week alone, sort of thing. Pretty big fan of Harry Wilson, if you couldn't tell. But yeah, that's sort of my thoughts and how I'm navigating the top echelon at the moment. And what I'm doing to sort of differentiate myself against the crowd and keep getting those green arrows. Obviously could turn around, Arsenal concede, I'm on for a pretty much guaranteed red arrow, but I'll back my side in and also just back Arsenal. And even if they don't get the clean sheet, they should still score alright there. So that's sort of my plans and thinkings. Let's have a look at the most traded out and traded in this week. We're just going to do the top 1% because that's all that's really matters now anyway. And we're just going to do, the top 1% there. So yeah, Saka's 20% sold in the top 1%. I completely get it. I think I'm going to hold. I think I might play him. But yeah, look, my question is, who are you bringing in? Obviously Pedro's already played and he did alright again, but I am not a fan of that trade. I'm just not a fan of the options. My best option, I think the best front three really in attack is going to be Haaland, like at the end of the season, total points, average points even. Haaland, Semenyo, and Thiago. I just think they're the best options, and so that's what I want to get. And so I've got 2 of them already. It's just Thiago I'm missing, and so yeah, I'm moving Saka to Thiago. Sort of in game week 27, sort of the plan at the moment. But no lock in that. But so yeah, let's have a look at who they are moving to. It'll be for Pedro, I'm sure. Saka's traded out for Gyökeres. That I could get behind, but again, with what trades? Like if I had the trades, I love that trade, but I've got 9 trades and I just don't like Gyökeres as a long-term option. But for the short term, I think it's great for the Arsenal double. So yeah, I actually like that trade in, but I just don't have the trades to facilitate the trade in and then to trade out again. Anyone I'm bringing in now is sort of planned to stay for the rest of the season or for at least a majority part there. Virgil's second most sold. Look, I don't know about this. I obviously sold him, but they got some decent fixtures coming up. Sunderland, Forest, West Ham, Wolves, Tottenham, Brighton, Fulham, Everton, Palace, United, Chelsea, Villa, Brentford to finish off the season. So it's probably just a season hold if you still got him. I don't know if it's worth the trade out. I obviously have traded out to play attacking there, but I don't know. Yeah, look, he's obviously very frustrating, and I don't think he has done awfully too much this year as a SuperCoach perspective. But yeah, I just don't know if that's really worth the trade out. He's fit, he's active, he'll get defensive points. I'm not the biggest fan of that trade out. Foden, yeah, look, again, another non-start. You can trade and move him on. Dorgu, yeah, injured. You can move him on whenever. Jared Bowen, you probably hate that trade. I don't know why people would have been selling him. So obviously this data is already pulling in. So the people that sold Bowen wouldn't have got his 9 points from this morning. I know I didn't get his 9 points, but I didn't sell him. So yeah, not a fan of that trade. Roberto Sanchez, I don't know why you'd be trading him out. I suppose it would be for David Raya with the double. Sabozlai traded out. As I mentioned, I think you can keep him if you got him. Reece James traded out. Yeah, look, he's just the invisible man for Chelsea. He's just too injury prone. Just no security there, and their fixes are coming to an end. So yeah, I like that trade out. Tarkowski. Look, I prefer Tarkowski as a trade out better than Van Dijk, but again, I think he's the same boat as Van Dijk. Like, if you're moving to Munoz or whatever and you got the trades, like, I like it, but it's just, you got to be conscious of your trades. Like, I know I'm super aware of that now, trying to plan out my final 9 trades left, especially being at the top end. If I want to be in with a chance of finishing up the top, I've got to sort of plan and map it out. And so, yeah, I don't know if I'd be selling Tarkowski if I had him. I like the trade to Munoz or something like that, but yeah, I think he's a fine option. Like, I just don't think you need to sell him. And then Harry Wilson, yeah, I would not be selling at all. I am actually really tempted to bring him in game week 28. So they've got City 26, Sunderland 27, but yeah, from 28 it's Spurs, West Ham, Forest, Burnley, Liverpool, Brentford, Arsenal, Aston Villa. It gets a bit worse near the end, but that string of 5 games is really good for Wilson. Again, I've got to decide if that's worth a trade, especially trading Enzo or Palmer out, which at the moment is not looking like it is worth it. So I'll have to reassess closer to it. But yeah, I definitely wouldn't be trading him out. That was the most traded out. Let's have a look at the most traded in. Timber number 1, yeah, for the double. I think the theme of the week is Arsenal, clearly. Looking at the top 10 traded in, pretty much over half of them are Arsenal players. So yeah, Timber like the trade in, Gyökeres like the trade in, just don't know how you're going to trade him back out again. I wouldn't keep him for the season. David Raya, yeah, like the trade in. Munoz, love the trade in. I think the next sort of couple fixes are really, really good for Munoz. I'm hoping that he can still stay pod, so yeah, like 10% of people are bringing him in this week. He's 20% owned now, so last week he was 10% when he got that 10-pointer. So super pod still owned, and yeah, really tasty fixtures. If he could get any attacking threat, he created a really good chance on the weekend. If he can execute that, that'd be brilliant, and we'd be cheering with the green arrow. Cole Palmer, boy, you'd be happy if you brought him in another 22 points. It could have been 30, but you would not be complaining. Declan Rice, yes. Definitely, I don't know why you don't have him. Zubimendi, no, I don't like this trade-in. He's just not nailed. I think Declan Rice is a better option. I think there's just better options for the price. They get the double game week, but he's got his average per game is like 0.06 xg, and he's scored obviously goals in back-to-back games. He's overperforming those stats completely. It's just not sustainable. And yeah, look, that one's a bit of a swing at the stumps with the form, but it's just unsustainable. Could be eating my words, who knows. This time next week we'll get on and have a look there. Saliba, yeah, like the trade-in. I would prefer Calafiori. Saliba's probably a bit more nailed, but Calafiori really does have attacking threat and outset. He's often in the box and gets up there for Arsenal. Hasn't eventuated into any points just yet, however. I'm really hoping this double game week, yeah, if he gets a goal and Arsenal keep a double clean sheet, I am seeing a monster green arrow. Gabriel, number 9, most brought in, yeah, like that. And number 10, Mbeumo. Yeah, I like it. I don't know if I would be moving him. I think that's people trading sort of, as we discussed earlier. But yeah, I just don't know if I would be bringing in Mbeumo now. Like, he's a good option. He's got a really high season rank. Like, this is the boat I'm in. It's sort of between Mbeumo, Pedro, but I'm not really considering Pedro. Ekitike, not considering Ekitike, or Thiago, who I think I am going to go with. But yeah, you can see he does well, right? And he scored again overnight, so he got 11 points. So he's chipping away well. Like, he's scoring well, and they've got some good fixtures coming up: Everton, Palace, Newcastle, Villa, Bournemouth, Leeds. Like, good fixtures sort of to hold for the rest of the season. So a good option if you brought him in. I definitely would be bringing him over Thiago this week. However, Thiago's had a couple of fixtures and they're going to swing soon. Alright guys, I think that wraps up another video on the Hooked on SuperCoach channel. If you're still watching, comment down below any trades or your trades for this week, what your thoughts are on my trades, and what are you thinking on the Calafiori sort of pod play. And if you haven't joined the league already, join the league, 700950 for the EPL. I'm also going to quickly shout out the NRL SuperCoach League. I know I haven't done any NRL SuperCoach content yet, but it is coming soon. I did a post on it on Twitter. I think we've got almost 30 people in already, which is awesome there. And so yeah, the NRL code league is 847723. So if you're watching your NRL SuperCoach, join that league, and the content will be coming out shortly for you guys. But thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's hope Calafiori gets a return. Cheers, guys. See you next week.